Good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome to reading class. So we are going to be needing our reading textbook scans. We're going to read from page 308 until 311. So that's 4 pages. So our story today is actually really interesting. It's called A Spear for Omar. So the main character's name is Omar, and we're actually going to talk about the setting for a quick second here. So if you look at the picture, you can kind of tell it's very natural. It looks like it takes place outdoors, and you are correct. It takes place near a place called the Red Sea. I know, the picture is not red at all, Miss Oak. Why is it called the Red Sea? Well, no, it's not actually red. It's located between Asia in Africa. So here we got Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iran is right over here, and Red Sea is that little sea right here in between Asia and Africa. So this is where our story takes place today. It is the setting. Awesome. So we have our friend named Omar, and he is actually into an activity called spearfishing. So we're going to be reading about that as well. As you can see in the pictures, you can tell spearfishing is, of course, when you catch fish using a spear. So let's go ahead and start reading. So here you have some flexibility. If you prefer to read silently on your own, go ahead and stop this video and just read it on your own. That's totally fine. If you want to read with me, then go ahead and continue reading with me. Okay, let's start. A Spear for Omar by Hetty Rado, illustrated by Preston Gravely. Omar knelt at the bottom of the small dugout canoe and let his hand drift in the balmy water of the Red Sea. He loved this hour of the day, heading homeward with the keel of the canoe deep in the water, heavy with a day's catch of fish. It usually made him feel peaceful to watch the sun sink slowly behind the jagged mountains that line the dry, hot desert. Today, however, there was no peace in Omar, for he had failed again. As if in answer to his shame came his father's soothing voice. Do not worry too much, my son. Tomorrow you'll be able to hold your breath underwater longer than you did today. Omar's father was known to be the best spear fisherman from Suez all the way down to Port Sudan. He was a big man with strong muscles rippling underneath his tanned skin. Clad only in loincloth, he squatted in the canoe and paddled homeward with even, powerful strokes. So just for your quick reference, this is a canoe. So this is where Omar and his father this is where Omar and his father, they do their spearfishing activities. Okay. Omar's brother Gomez, who knelt in the stern of the canoe, cleaning and drying his underwater goggles with the tail of his galabeah shirt, started to laugh. Tomorrow, Omar will be bobbing up for air every few seconds, just like he did today, Gomez mocked. How can he ever be a spear fisherman if he's afraid he might drown as soon as he's underwater for more than a few seconds? All right, let's pause here for a second. So what is going on over here? Why is Omar's brother Gomez making fun of him? Why does Omar have a hard time with spearfishing? What do you guys think? If you said that it's because he cannot hold his breath underwater for a long time, you are correct. Tomorrow I'll stay underwater for hours, you'll see, cried Omar. Deep inside, he was thoroughly ashamed of his fear of drowning. With an angry motion, Omar's father jarred the paddle against the canoe. There will be no more fighting between you two, he said. And as for you, he added, turning around to Gomez, it would not harm you to exercise some more caution. It is not well to show fear, but also it's not wise to disregard danger altogether, as you so often do. The sea is full of danger for the reckless fisherman. After that, he took up his paddle, and no one spoke again. Omar sighed and looked with deep longing at the spears at the bottom of the canoe. His father had promised him a spear of his own as soon as he had conquered his fear. The spears were slender, long shafts of smooth wood with metal points that gleamed dark red in the last rays of the sinking sun. To Omar, the spears looked beautiful and well worth the effort he silently promised to make. The next morning, Omar's father announced that he would stay behind. "I want you two to go to the sea alone today," he said. "Gomez is well able to do some spear fishing alone, providing that he will be careful. And as for you, Omar," he continued, "I expect you to keep your promise and do some real diving today." Omar respected his father too much to argue, although he did not want to go without him. Silently he nodded, and then the two boys went on their way. Gomez smirked at Omar and said, "Let's go, I'll race you to the beach." The minute the two brothers jumped into the crystal clear water, Omar forgot his disappointment that his brother had won the race over the burning sand. As much as Omar resented his brother's teasing, he still felt great admiration for him. Now he admired the way that Gomez gripped the heavy spear and shot downward with the ease and grace of a dolphin. It took only a few seconds until he bobbed up again with his first catch. He threw the fish into the canoe and grinned at Omar. "How about coming down yourself?" he asked. Omar held on to the canoe. I will, he said hastily. "But Gomez, please don't take any chances and stay down too long. You know that father warned you yesterday." "You worry about yourself," Gomez called. Then he flipped back his hair, took a few deep breaths, and down he went again. Now came the big moment for Omar to dive himself, and he was determined to dive well today. He let go of the canoe and submerged quickly into the water. A few feet below the surface, the very water seemed to be alive with the fish. The trembling rays of the sun penetrated the clear water and illuminated the colorful fish in a soft, mysterious light. Yet the whole scene seemed almost unreal because no sound broke the deep silence. By now, Omar's breath began to give out and he felt like darting to the surface. However, he forced himself to overcome his panic and swam deeper toward the pink coral reef. It was covered with flaming red sponges and the curiously nodding heads of purple worms. So before we go on, just want to take a quick pause here so we can kind of visualize where Omar is right now. So Omar and his brother are inside the coral reef. So here we have a picture of a beautiful coral reef. Okay. Scattered over the coral like precious diamonds were thousands and thousands of sparkling sea gems. But the sight of numerous clams, half hidden in the reef, dampened Omar's enthusiasm a little. With their wide-open jaws, they seemed to be just waiting for Omar. If he swam too near, they would close their shells as quick as a flash over a finger or an arm. Omar kept well away from the gaping jaws of the clams, swimming with smooth, careful strokes. When he finally came to the surface, he was very happy. His father would be proud of him when he heard how well Omar had dived today. Gomez emerged a few feet away with another catch. He was panting for air, but nevertheless didn't linger long. After treading water for a few moments, he took a deep breath and went down again. A slight breeze had come up and sent gusts of hot air from across the desert. The water, however, was still as cool and smooth as flowing silk. Omar turned on his back and paddled slowly to the canoe. He held on to the crudely carved wood, which gave him a funny tickling feeling in his palms. Then, as he hung on to the canoe, he suddenly went limp all over. The water around him became cold as ice. Da-da-da, dramatic ending. This is where we will stop today. What will happen to Omar? Oh no. He suddenly feels really weak. He's probably drowning. So let's find out what happens tomorrow. Of course, you can keep reading if you want, but let's keep it for tomorrow, right? So that's it for this reading session. Thank you for joining me. You can go ahead and look at the spelling next, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.